At this time, let me just deviate a little bit from our regular, as Mayor Pro Tem, I guess I can
You're in charge. You get to do what you want.
take some liberties here. At this time, let me just want to stop just for a minute and just say that later on in our agenda, council is going to make a decision, one of the biggest decisions that we've had to make as a council in the past. I know I've been here 14 years, so biggest decision that the city has had to make in the last 28 years. And I just want to, at this time, give a few of our council members, or give our council members a chance to say some things. Mr. Leath has been here with us.
That they wish they'd said before? Is that?
Well, they're going to say all nice things. Tom is, I remember when I first got on council, you learn things when you're growing up, and you always said Mr. and Mrs. and ma'am and yes sir and open doors. And Tom one time took me and said, Mike, you're my boss. That was a little difficult. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not, I still couldn't change and get around saying Mr. Leaf and stuff like that as you grow up with stuff like that. But one thing it did taught me was Tom is a humble person, and I think he cares about the city. Well, his heart has always been in this city, and he's a humble person and didn't always want a lot of pats on the back and stuff like this. But Tom, I just want to say it has been a pleasure of mine serving with you for the past 14 years that I've been on council, and I know we've worked together before I got on council. It's always been a pleasure, and so I just want to say we're going to miss you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other council members?
Say a word. Susan, please, go ahead.
Well, I know you don't want us to get modeling, so I won't do that. It has been a pleasure to work with you, Tom. I think you've always guided us in the right direction, and you've done that in a very good manner, so that you didn't appear to be telling us what to do, although you did tell us what to do a lot of times.
You didn't always listen, though.
This is true, we didn't. But no, it has been great, and I hope you're going to enjoy this retirement. I know you will. I'm glad for you that you were able to do it while you were still young enough to enjoy it and while you still had some hair. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Mr. Wallace?
Well, I mean, I did owe to that. I had to laugh when he said to call him Mr. Leath. About 2 weeks ago, I called up and started a conversation off, and I said, well, Tom, I need this, 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 and this. He goes, wow, that's the first time you've ever called me Tom. So I never got out of the habit of it. But we are going to miss you. And I always tell this story about, I was at the National League of Cities meeting right after Katrina, and we were in line. You get up there and say, I'm Randall Wallace from the city of Myrtle Beach. And we were talking about the hurricane and the devastation out there in New Orleans. And the guy, whose name was Mike Louder, he was the highest-ranking FEMA representative, which made it very easy for me to remember his name this week. But he stopped me in the middle of this entire thing and said, I want you to know that your city is the premier city. It has done everything that we need them to do and is the most prepared for hurricanes and catastrophes and all that. And I, of course, took full credit for it and said it was all my idea. But but I thought it was a testament.
You weren't even born at that time.
But I thought, wow, what a testament to the management of the city and all the employees that are here, and
That's
all of you
a big
folks.
part of it right there.
And to your leadership, though. So I did want to, pass that on to just what an incredible, 28 years you've had. And I don't know that there's a larger figure that's been in the city in all that time. You can really take credit for having watched this city go from a small town, or our government go from a small town to a big city government. So that's quite an accomplishment. And I hope you enjoy your retirement. And I'll probably see you. I don't know. You'll be a starter at the golf course or something, I imagine.
Thank you.
So I can't imagine you just like, what are you going to do at 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday? Just
Work on his boat.
Well, see you on the waterway riding by, I guess. Yeah. But thank you. And like I said, everywhere I've ever been in the state or on the national, they always talk about what a good job, excellent job the city does and that you have done. So thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
Just a few words, Mr. Leath. You know, when we individually try to hone our leadership skills and abilities, we try to extract the most positive attributes from those men and women to whom we feel like we owe a debt of some measure. And you're one of those individuals, Tom. Although we don't agree all the time, by and large, you've been quite an inspiration. You, quite simply put, are the person you appear to be, a decent and honorable public servant, and it has been a pleasure to serve with you. I am very confident your parents would be very proud of the career you made for yourself and what you've done for this city. And I do appreciate your advice to me when I first came on to be a balancing factor on this council and just try to contribute at every meeting. And with that, I'll turn it over to the hopefully short-winded Mr. Gray. But again, thank you so much for serving, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Joan, put the egg timer on.
Before I congratulate you on your exiting, I do have a few no, I don't have a questions. Tom, I've worked with you in some way or some fashion since probably about, I guess, 96, when I first started serving on a committee for the city and was elected to city council in 97. So for the better part of your years as a city manager, I've been a member of this body. And for those of you that know Tom, he's not much one that likes to be praised, and certainly praised publicly. But as we were talking the other day and commenting about the last few days and weeks of your tenure, and we were under the impression that, hey, let Tom decide when he wants to leave between now and the end of the year, and we know that you're always available. You epitomized your service when you said to me that, well, Wayne, now that the council appears to be making a decision on the new manager, the organization and the city needs to look to that new leader. And what you were doing, as you always do, is decide what is best for the organization and the people in that organization, and that's the 850 employees that work for the city of Myrtle Beach and the 30,000 residents that live here and the millions of visitors that come here year in, year after. And you have been and are an honorable, dedicated public servant. I want to thank you for the time that I've had an opportunity to work with you. I hope that in some measure your service has rubbed off on me. I apologize for all of those stupid, immature things that I did as a council member that brought anger and frustration and embarrassment to you and to this city. But
Well said.
but you have served us well, and you also, in your service, have prepared folks like John Peterson and others that are capable and able to continue to lead the city, and thank you so much for your service.
Well, thank you. It's very humbling, and I thank you for the opportunity to work for a place I love, and for a number of fine employees who do all the work. I get the credit, but they do all the work, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
Okay, moving along.